everyone, thank you so much for coming back and joining me. Now, in tonight's video, we are going to be talking about two things. We're going to be talking about AquaLad and we're also going to be talking about Aquaman, which are two separate characters. Now, AquaLad was first introduced to the DC Comics way back in 1960. But there is an animated series that I had never even heard until I read this article today, and it was actually put up yesterday, the article, that there is an animated series called Young Justice, and the character AquaLad has now been made canonically queer. Yes, that's right, guys. And now because of that, because this news, you know, I read this, an article that was put up yesterday, as I say, because of this, and because this was seen in this latest episode of, you know, Young Justice with AquaLad being queer, then of course the SJW'S, guess what they're wanting now, guys? They are wanting Jason Momoa's Aquaman to be gay, be bisexual, you know, what have you. So let's just go ahead and get this video started.
I've been so lonely, girl, I've been so sad and down. Couldn't understand why haters joked around. I wanted to be free with other creatures like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish, yo.
So AquaLad in this series, Young Justice, is now queer. Now, he wasn't before. I did a bit of research about this, and when he was in the comics back in 1960, he wasn't, you know, queer. And it's kind of funny because I was reading up what he had actually said to his father in this Young Justice series, and I just thought it was quite funny, so I wrote down, and I will be reading off my notes tonight, guys, because, you know, it's late and I'm not going to remember all this. But, you know, of course, you know, they had to make him, you know, be in the LGBT community, you know, because, you know, they cry and they get what they want, basically. So he had said to his father, you know, that he was, you know, gay. And his father responded, this is hilarious, guys, "You're saying that as though you're asking me a question. You think I care? We're all just meat." And when I read that out, I read that to my boyfriend earlier, I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. I was in hysterics. I thought it was funny anyways. Maybe I'm easily amused, I don't know. And in the latest episode of this animated series, Young Justice, what happened was he kissed another man, and I did search on YouTube and I, you know, saw it happen. But I haven't watched this, you know, animated series. I didn't even know it existed, as I was saying. I've never watched this Young Justice. But in an article that I had read earlier, it was hilarious because what it was actually entitled was, you know, very well suited. It was called "We've Been Crying Out for More LGBTQ plus Representation." Now, first of all, I didn't even know when the plus part was added to the LGBTQ, but I'm guessing that's meaning because, you know, they're planning on adding more letters to the alphabet. You know, we're going to eventually have all the letters of the alphabet because, you know, why not? You know, that they're going to want to own the alphabet, let's face it. I think that's a perfect title because the third word, crying, we are crying out. I love that title because at least they're being honest, because that is all they do. All they do is cry, and you cannot please these people, honestly. Even if every single, you know, superhero was in the, you know, represented as the LGBTQ community, I can guarantee you guys, they would still complain if there was even one or two that weren't. Honestly, they would. I mean, what is annoying me, my personal, you know, 2 cents on this, in my opinion, is what annoys me is why can't DC and Disney, you know, especially with the likes of Marvel, why can't they just introduce new things in general? But in relation to what I'm talking about tonight, why can't they just introduce new superheroes? And here is a great idea. I came up with this idea the other day. Why not have 2 channels on television, right? And have one channel where it's just all stuff for LGBTQ, and you can have shows, series, films, whatever you darn well please, right, for this, you know, LGBT community. And then why not have another channel where it's all just, you know, superheroes, because they want to have their mittens on superheroes, right, that are already existing. that people who are into comics, people who love reading comic books, people who love learning about the lore, mythology and stuff like that on comic book characters, they want to have their, you know, mittens on all that. But why not just create a channel for them and just create superheroes just for them, and it can be, you know, specially for them, and then you're actually literally catering to them, so, you know, you're going to win anyways. That's my opinion. And then in that way you can actually just leave existing superheroes off, you know, DC and Marvel the heck alone, right? And I mean, because this is just another fine example of trying to rewrite history. And I mean, no, I'm kind of going off the beaten track a bit, guys, but kind of not really. What they've done with Chris Hemsworth's for Thor in Endgame, they made him fat. Now, he was never fat in the comics, and I know that for a fact, right? And anyone else that has read the comics of Thor will be able to tell you 100% the man was never fat. And I can tell you that for a complete and utter fact. I'm not saying, oh, hypothetically, I am telling you that that is factual information that I'm handing out to you on this video. Now, if at any point he has been written in to be fat, that's been through Disney maybe bringing out some crappy comic and writing it in that way for him to be fat. And this is what they're trying to do for people who are young, you know, of young age, maybe say 14, 15 years of age. They will be reading out stuff that Disney's bringing out, and then they think that that's the way it is and that's the way the characters are. And that really does, it really does annoy me. Say for example, you had a gay Batman, because let's face it, if SJW'S said tomorrow morning that they wanted a gay Batman, me and other YouTubers, you can guarantee it, would be making videos called SJW'S have won, they've got a gay Batman, because let's face it, they get what they ask for at the end of the day. And to me that would never work, because right, okay, a superhero that is maybe say strong and tough, not even just say Batman, right, but Batman as an example, you cannot have a gay Batman. I am sorry, because it just will not work, cannot work, should not work. It shouldn't even be an idea that anybody should even be discussing. Do you know what I mean? That's just my opinion. And you know, they're trying to, if they're going to try and make serious movies and serious superheroes where they're like gay or whatever, and they're maybe like say Batman kissing another man in a DC movie, like you cannot do that, because it wouldn't work. And anybody who, you know, is a real like comic geek or whatever, you know, and we love DC and Marvel and things like that, you know, we are not going to go into the cinema and sit and enjoy that. If you went and seen a really gay Batman, let's face it, would it not be like sitting and watching, say, a Dumb and Dumber 3 movie if it came out? Do you know what I mean? That would be the equivalency of that idiocy. And I mean, we are seeing this time and time again, guys. We are also seeing this with Tessa Thompson as of recent, when we got the title reveal of the 4th Thor movie, which is going to be a terrible title, I don't like it, Thor, Love and Thunder. And Tessa Thompson has been confirmed that it's going to be, you know, her character LGBT, and she massively, openly, crystal clear told us that on the stage. And I will not be going and seeing that. I have had enough of handing my money out to them going down a woke path. I will not be doing it any longer. I've had enough. I'm quite tired of it, to be honest. And if anybody wants to go out and see that movie and review it on YouTube, go right ahead. I will not be reviewing that movie on YouTube, just letting you know now in advance. It hasn't even been a trailer come out for it yet. We've only just got the title reveal, and there was Tessa Thompson standing on stage, you know, pretty much saying it's just going to be wokeness, you know, galore. And there's poor Chris Hemsworth again standing getting dumbed down. You know, he really needs a new agent, because he's just going from, you know, one role to the next, jumping and just getting made out to look like another fool. Look at him in Endgame. Him and Hulk were two of the most weakest ones, and yet they're the strongest Avengers. It doesn't make logical sense. They're going to the point where there's no logical sense. They're ruining the lore, they're ruining the mythology. And I know it doesn't make sense, and it's taken the complete enjoyment out of it for me. And, you know, to me, I'm not into, you know, the LGBT stuff. I'm not into, you know, all that. So, and I'm not also into, what would you call, pushing an agenda to appease other people to make a movie. So no, I'm not up for going and seeing that movie. But anyways, I really did go off the beaten track there, guys. So to get back on to what we were talking about, I was just basically trying to say that, you know, I've had enough of all that there nonsense. I mean, even with, you know, Thor, just really quickly, lastly, what they are doing is they are ruining his lore and trying to rewrite the history of his lore mythology. I mean, having him fight in Endgame doesn't make sense with his lore, with the lore and mythology of Thor. If you've read any mythology of it, trust me, you would not even try and ask me what I'm talking about right now. You would just go, yes, Julie, that makes sense. For him to be fat does not add up, and it really doesn't. But moving on, I wanted to show you a photograph that I'm going to bring up on my screen on my video, and it's a really funny photograph about this whole AquaLad nonsense. And it was put on Instagram. Now, I don't have Instagram, but I got this from a website called Mary Sue. And he's called, I hope I pronounced this right, Geoff Leonard. And he has a gay pride little, you know, flag. And it says, Holy Carp. I'm guessing he was trying to go for Holy Crap, but he's went for Holy Carp instead, guys. I'm going to go for that was, you know, just like by accident. It happens. Just watched the latest hashtag Young Justice Outsiders, and the Aquaman is gay ? A biracial gay superhero ? In capital letters, you know, to emphasize, you know, how much he loves it. I love this. I'm inspired. You're inspired? Okay. Okay. Thank you at the DC Universe for this moment! ! I already thought AquaLad was awesome, but he's now my favourite. I have a question for this guy, Geoff, right? Because he's kind of like contradicted himself in this post, because he's wrote, Aquaman is gay, but then he says at the end that AquaLad was already awesome, but he's his favourite character. But does he not realise that AquaLad and Aquaman are two different people? Anyways, then we're going to move on to talk about Aquaman, and as I am sort of talking on here, I am going to go to my phone, guys, and it's being really touchy at the moment for some reason. Oh, here we go. I wanted to read an article that a bisexual man called Kieran wrote, and I am not even going to try to attempt his last name because I know I would massively fail. But this was an article, now guys, yes, this was written June back in 2016, but what I was saying earlier was, because this happened with AquaLad in the latest episode of that show, Young Justice, people around social media, you know, SJW'S are like going, oh, I hope it happens with Aquaman too, and yada yada. However, this article that I'm going to read you was from 2016, and I just thought it was interesting. I just thought I would read it out to you. So here we go. If you're interested in still hearing this part of the video, then here we go. So this guy Kieran, who is a bisexual man, is saying, I am a bisexual man with the privilege of passing for straight. Well, okay, that's good for you. I didn't admit it to myself or my friends that I was bisexual until a year and a half into my relationship with a woman who is now my fiancée. Congratulations. Odds are that I'll stay with this person forever, but it doesn't make me any less bisexual. And by standing up and letting people know that, I can do my part to fight back against bi erasure. Now, I don't know what bi erasure is, but I have no idea what that is. We're still fighting for scraps with the few gay and lesbian characters that publishers provide. Oh, boo-hoo. And when bisexual characters are introduced, they almost always engage in same-sex relationships. I'm not advocating against that. Well, it literally sounds like that is exactly what you're doing. You are literally, that is literally what you're doing. But we should be working towards opening up portrayals of LGBTQ characters in superhero comics to many different experiences and orientations as possible. This is why Aquaman should be bisexual. Originally, I was going to write about Phantom X, but I realised I didn't have much to say other than I think he's cute and he should kiss boys. Whereas a bisexual Aquaman is someone I could relate to. Wow. Over the past 5 years since his return, Aquaman is a character that has been linked inextricably, with his partner Mera, who of course was seen in, you know, James Wan's Aquaman movie with Jason Momoa. She was in it. When in turn has elevated her to one of DC's premier female superheroes. Aquaman and Mera rule Atlantis together, they fight bad guys together, they exist as a unit in a way most superheroes don't with their partners. Similarly, my fiance is my best friend and we spend most of our time together with both socially and professionally. However, Aquaman had a life before Mera, and specifically he had a human life. He may have experimented, he may have dated boys, sorry guys, I'm going to try not to laugh. He may have not even realised how deep his attraction ran until years into his relationship with Mera. He may have never had any form of relationship or sexual experience with a man and he could still be bisexual. Yeah, because, you know, when he was with his dad, who is a lighthouse keeper, he had, you know, plenty of time to be running around, you know, looking for men and running into bars looking for, you know, sailors to come over and go, you know, like, yeah, that is a thing.
Don't be sad for me, guys. I'm going home. Come on. I've been so lonely, girl. I've been so sad and down. Couldn't understand why haters joked around. I wanted to be free with other creatures like me, and now I got my wish. Cause I know that I'm a gay fish, yeah.
Time just going on. LGBT alien characters such as Marvel Boy are portrayed as coming from a de facto bisexual culture. Sorry, what is a de facto bisexual culture? I don't know what de facto is. Is that another language? I don't know. And although not intentional, this separates their experiences from those of most people and has an othering effect on concepts such as bisexuality and gender fluidity. Aquaman was raised human, so his bisexuality would not be part of traditional Atlantean culture, or whatever hand-waving exercise our less courageous writer might be tempted to try. His bisexuality would be something that was always within him, whether he knew it or not. Sorry, but that makes no sense, dude. In the most selfish of terms, it would be a big publicity move for DC Comics, and the company would instantly have the most iconic LGBTQ character in superhero comics. Aquaman is about to be a big deal thanks to James Wan's upcoming feature film, because of course this article was in 2016 before the movie came out, starring Jason Momoa, and I think it's hilarious because that never happened. He wasn't gay in Aquaman or bisexual or anything of that nature at all. So outing Aquaman within the next few years would not only be a strong statement of inclusivity, or from the publisher, it could help them tap into a broader audience. Since coming out, I've struggled to find a place in the community because I have the passing privilege that many do not. And that can be alienating in its own right. I don't experience any direct prejudice and I live a charmed life compared to many of my friends. This isn't really representation that I personally need. However, there are bisexual people who face very real prejudice and erasure. What is erasure? And one of DC's top tier heroes standing up and saying the words "I'm bisexual" could be so powerful and so important to someone going through a personal crisis. Oh my gosh, no. Because that would look... So you literally just want Aquaman to just be swimming in the middle of the ocean and just go, "I'm bisexual." No, it's not going to work, no matter what reasons you have behind it, I'm sorry. A proudly bisexual Aquaman or any superhero in a loving, heteronormative relationship presents a powerful statement that not only educates people to the true nature of how bisexuality works in practice, but stands as a message to people unsure of themselves and reminds them that their identity and sexuality is valid, no matter how they express it or who they choose to love. No. You see, this is the thing. A lot of these, you know, SJW'S, most of them, I can't speak for all of them, right? Some of them maybe are into some comics and some of them maybe are into this and that, right? But I'm sorry, I would say not a huge array of them would actually be really into comics as an overall, you know, deal, right? And this is the thing. DC, Marvel need to understand and recognise and wake the freak up. What audience are you trying to push your movies to? Because they're not going to be a huge array of them in that community, in the LGBT community. So where my problem stands is, what are you trying to market to? You know, but that is the point though, guys, where I'm going to end this video, is they're trying to have it where eventually it's just going to probably be all LGBT characters, and then it'll just be them that probably watch the movies. Do you know what I mean? And that's sad. That really is sad. But, you know, they're getting their way. Anything they ask for, they get. If they wanted a gay Batman, they would get a gay Batman. If they wanted a gay Thor, they would get a gay Thor. You know, no, I've had enough. I really have. I've made the decision, and I'm not going to go and see Thor, Love and Thunder. And to be honest, most of Phase Thor sounds awful. It really does. I am going to end this video here because it's super long, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe some of it maybe had you have a bit of a giggle. I thought that guy, that bisexual guy, the way he was talking just sounded ridiculous. You know, and it's not that, it's like they're trying. Why can't they just say, you know, they would like a character in any movie to, you know, come out and be like, oh, I'm bisexual or whatever. Why does it have to be, they have to pick an existing comic book character and then feel like they should be representing the community? And as like that guy Kieran was saying in that article that I wrote, you know, the article that I was reading out, where he was saying that, you know, I'm a bisexual man and yada yada, this is why I feel that Aquaman should be bisexual. You know, they don't care. It doesn't seem like they care about the superheroes or whatever, the characters. They just want to take over. This is the thing. They just want everything, just want to take over everything. You know, why are they wanting to take existing superheroes that have been around for many years and change things, which pretty much gets in the way and destroys and dismantles other things like lore, mythology. Do you know what I mean? So that is the thing, you know, they're not just saying, let's pick, you know, get a movie and have, you know, a character in it and have that girl or that man come out and say, you know, look, you know, mummy or daddy, I'm bisexual. No, it has to be, Aquaman has to come out in the ocean and be like, I am bisexual. And they think that that's really going to have a massive effect on them and really help their struggles. No. I hope you liked this video, and I'm going to end it there, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and until my next video, don't forget that the force will be with you always.